We feel beyond fortunate to be able to welcome Brian Johnson and Cliff Williams of ACDC back to Loudwire Nights. Last time we were on, we were celebrating Brian Johnson's birthday, also the return of the reunited lineup we all know and love. This time around, the festivities continue since Shot in the Dark is officially the #1 song on rock radio. Congratulations, gentlemen. I'm wondering,
all right.
Yes, what does it feel like to see Power Up just shoot straight to #1?
Amazing.
Yeah.
That song was just fantastic for us as a first single. But I think it'll be exciting when the whole album comes out. I think because we're so excited about all the songs on there, you know, we still get excited.
That's awesome. That is so exciting. I actually wanted to talk about the album and it going to #1. I think it's fair to say that Power Up is the most anticipated rock album of the year, hands down. I have no doubt it's going to debut at #1 on the Billboard 200, making that prediction right now. So far, though, we've only seen one rock record accomplish that in all of 2020. It's a pop-punk album by an artist named Machine Gun Kelly. What do you attribute that to? Like, what is happening with our younger generations of rock?
Well, I think they got swallowed up by the mainstream. You know, mainstream music, by that I mean, you know, the social media, the norm as it was. I mean, ACDC started in the mind of Malcolm Young many years ago when he was sitting at home in Australia, you know, and the only music he could hear was this soft, gentle music. And he just went, everything's too nice. You know, I want to do something about this. And being in rock and roll has always been, you know, it's never been the genre that, you know, people, you know, ever listened to, you know, like they never took it seriously. And I think it's time that stopped because it is a very serious statement of music. And it has been for so long, especially in America, which is one of the, you know, which is where it really fermented and started in this country of America. And I should be proud of it. I think now and again you get big bursts of rock and roll, and then you get people coming up and making silly statements like, "Hey man, rock and roll is dead." And, you know, it drives you conkers. I just think this album will just, I just want kids to listen to it. We all do. And just go and say, I want to buy a guitar. I want to be in a band. I think we've accomplished something if that happens. I don't know, Cliff, what do you think, my son?
I think so. If we can put a smile on people's faces, we've done all right. You know, I think, but I don't know, 2020 has been such a weird year, such a lot of crap that everyone's had to go through. And I don't know if that's kind of stymied music at all this year. Machine Gun Kelly I've not heard of, but I don't know what happened there. You know, I'm just glad that we've got Power Up out there, and I think it's a positive for the year. I'm real pleased about it.
Can't wait. All right. So Angus recently shared that you all have always strived to make AC/DC songs instantly recognizable. This isn't news. We all know that. Mission accomplished. We know an AC/DC song when we hear it. You don't mess with success much in terms of the sound and lyrical content. Is that one of the sources of your success, in your opinion? Like, what do you consider AC/DC's secrets to success all of these decades later, still delivering?
Well, if I said just the pure honesty of the music, you know, it doesn't have any sides. It's got no deep message. It's got no, you know, listen to me kind of thing about it. It's just the pure joy of rock and roll, you know.
Yeah, I think the guys have written some great songs over the years, and we just play them like we play them. There's no fancy frills or anything like that. I think the guys have got great choruses. You get your foot tapping. It's a good time. It's rock and roll, as Brian said. It's just a good time, and that's what it should be. You know, nothing deep and meaningful and all that stuff. Just get out there and have a bit of fun. You know, enjoy it.
Keep it fun. Keep it rock. Whose idea was it to name the album Power Up anyway? And what does that mean to the band?
I think Angus was the first one because he always liked when we said, you know, when we ever got into a rehearsal or we got into the studio, somebody used the term once, okay, guys, let's power up and get rocking. And he remembered that. He said he always liked it. You know, it felt like electricity, powerful statement. And I think it works well. It's a pretty cool title. For the first time, I think, and Cliff can put me right here in a minute if I'm wrong, but we've got a title of an album that hasn't come from one of the tracks on the album.
That's right.
There you
go. That's
go.
right, John.
There you go. It's a first. It's a first. So far, we've heard about 50 seconds of Demon Fire. Only 50 seconds. You guys are torturing us. The second offering of Power Up. What can you tell us about that song, how it came together? What do you personally love about Demon Fire?
We got together, Tony, early in the year, January, to rehearse. Well, actually, to shoot a video for the Shot in the Dark song. We decided, let's rehearse while we're all together, do it loudly, so we could see how it was doing for Brian for his hearing and so on. And that song, we played Demon Fire a lot during as we did maybe 6 of the tracks on the album, and just like fire. It's a ripper of a live track. It's just a really killer song to play. So I hope you like the other minute and 2 minutes and minute and 80 seconds of it.
When are we gonna get it? When are we getting it?
Oh, John,
I don't know. I'm looking at one of the Sonny reps, who's typing away there, who always pretends that he hasn't heard the question.
Of course,
because that dirty, rotten, stinking stuff, they don't even tell us. But but I remember in the studio doing that. It was fun because the opening words were, that they gave me with Brendan O'Brien, the producer. He said, "Brian, just talk through this and we'll see if we can get it to fit in the right spots." And so, I just spoke the opening lines, which were, he loves to drive me crazy. With those evil lips, great guns ablaze. And he went, "Do that again." And I went, no, I'm just around here. And he went, no, do it again. So that's all I can tell you about the start of it. It's got a real funny little start to it, which kind of really works, but well.
People have only heard 50 seconds and they're like, it's possibly better than Shot in the Dark. It's like, okay, all right, I get it. You guys are excited. It's like everybody's just going crazy over the new music, which Malcolm is credited as a writer on every track on Power Up. Was there a moment, you always kind of hear these stories of like, I felt his presence while we were in the studio working on new music. Did either of you have one of those, like the hairs on your arms stood up moments while working on these songs?
You know what it is? We're together for so long, 40 plus years. We'll say now, I'm sure you've heard it before, but we it's like he's there, it's like, I can't imagine him not being there. So there's this kind of his vibe is there type of thing. There wasn't any one particular moment for me anyway. John, you might have had it, but it was just an overall feeling, because how could he not be, sort of thing? I know that's weird to say, but it was just his vibes there.
Yeah, I think everybody in the band is not afraid, but we don't like to say like the spiritual things because we think it's a lot of touch. But when you get in there, and this album is a tribute to Malcolm, and when you just had to really step up to the plate and make Malcolm proud, because Malcolm had just passed away, not long before, and we really wanted to leave him something to be proud of. That he had a part of. And so, yes, it's a funny thing to say, but yeah, he was there.
Yeah. Speaking of another thing that you normally don't comment on, and you probably will not, but I would be remiss if I don't ask. 2 days ago, I was reading a Washington Post piece about a Trump rally and how attendees were waving Trump flags and blasting ACDC. That's how it got my attention. I saw ACDC in the top paragraph. I know you're not a political band, but with tomorrow being Election Day, I'm curious if you have any thoughts at all on the race. You have people boarding up their shops in anticipation of civil unrest here in the United States, DC, California, New York, and elsewhere. It's really a madhouse. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I just hope people stay safe. Yeah, that's all. This is wild that we're going through with this. So just stay safe and look after each other.
Just listen to the record. Forget it.
There you go.
It's supposed to be healing medicine, this stuff, and it needs it now, I think, more than ever.
There you go. Fair enough. Had to ask. I want to touch on Back in Black turning 40 this year. Do either of you have a particular favorite memory or something that really stands out about that time recording, and should add that there's a collaboration with DC Shoes in coordination with that anniversary?
Oh, it was just such a great time. It was, we'd lost Bond, but it was our first recording with Brian, and it was just a great time. The album came together so well. Damn, 40 years. Yeah.
It's a long time.
Someone just asked us, did that seem like yesterday? No, it didn't.
No.
It doesn't seem like yesterday.
Do you even remember? Do you have vivid memories of that period?
I remember the bar down the road. What was that? We used to serve those goon-based smashes or whatever it was.
Yeah.
We were in the Bahamas for recording that one. And there was a crab in the drum kit or something like that, Jonathan?
That's right. It was, we were listening back to one of the tracks in the studio. And Malcolm, as I said, he never misses a trick. And he said to the producer, Mutt Langer, he said, what's that noise in the track? I mean, and this track's rocking. I mean, it's bam, bam, it's really rocking. And the whole lot of us scratching my head and what? So Mutt started taking one guitar off and then the next guitar off. And still there's this, what the is that? And then bit by bit until there was nothing left except this ticking. And so I went in and it was a crab that had got into the door from the beach, was doing a dance in front of the microphone and was picking up everything.
It was trying to get out, I think.
Yeah, it was funny. It was like a drunken castanet player.
Oh my God. From Loch Ness monsters to crabs, you guys definitely have the best stories in all of rock and roll. And now we're going to look way to the future. And I'm curious if you see yourselves being able to commit to another AC/DC album. Do you think you have 18 in you? Because I was thinking that it would be a nice thing to have a round number of releases, like 30, maybe 40 albums.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Why not?
Yeah, we'll see how that work.
Yeah, that's right. We'll just see. We're just on this one. We're just enjoying this.
Just planting the seed. I'm just putting it out there is all. There is a lot of uncertainty about how much touring AC/DC is going to do in support of the record. Cliff, you've committed to a few shows. Is the band thinking of maybe taking up residence somewhere and having people come to them? There's just so much demand, and I'm wondering if there's a plan to meet it. And I'm asking this less as a nosy member of the media and more like an eager fan that wants to see AC/DC live.
When we were together earlier in the year, we talked about it. We had such fun playing. But the end result of it was we all agreed that we would love to play a few shows. Here's the thing. I'm learning you've got to pick your words very carefully in these interviews, but we didn't have any time to kind of flesh it out. We just said, okay, great. Well, I'd said personally, the 2-year tours, I just can't do that anymore. Yeah. But to play some shows live, absolutely. Okay. So we all went home and then, with an idea of maybe we'll try and put some gigs together and then, of course, this damn COVID thing hit and everything shut down. So we would love to, but we just got to wait and see what the hell happens. Okay. All right.
We'll wrap on this one, and it is a bit silly. I'm sure there are countless social media sites dedicated to AC/DC, but I follow AC/DC Trivia on Twitter, and I'm going to ask you one of their recent trivia questions to see if actual members of AC/DC know their own band trivia. So it's pretty easy. Are you guys ready?
Okay.
It's easy. Can you name 2 instances where AC/DC members have thrown the word apple into their lyrics, one with Bon and one with Brian?
The word apple?
Yes.
Yeah. Apple is on a track on the new album.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, are you serious?
Absolutely.
Oh, crap. So now then there's 3.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
crazy. Okay, I just stumbled upon that. Didn't know that. Wait, but do you know the other 2 is the question.
Nah.
Nah, me neither.
Oh, my God.
It'll work.
Hilarious. I stumped the members of AC/DC with their own songs. You got it. You know what that just means? That you have so many good songs that it's just impossible to remember them all.
Well, come on, Tony. You're not going to leave me hanging.
I'm going to tell you.
Exactly, Donna.
Let me fill you in.
Hanging now. What are the songs?
Let me fill you in on your songs. Okay, so Soul Stripper, right? So that one with Bon, that has it within the first 2 sentences of the song. And then Brian, Are You Ready? Has the word apple, like literally in the first line. So there you go, gentlemen. I love it.
Yeah. All right.
I taught you something about your own music.
You did.
All right. Well, ACDC's 17th studio album, Power Up, arrives November 13th. Cannot wait. A gazillion thank yous. Brian Johnson and Cliff Williams, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. It's been smashing.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Tony.